now and then I get a little bit lonely and you're never coming around. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of listening to the sound of my tears. Every now and then I get a little bit nervous at the best of all.
Good evening, America. Welcome to MFFL Live 2012. I am your host, Travis Rhodes, Commissioner of the MFFL, CEO of the Skid Marks. To my left, I have Zach Zortman of former Fatties. Say hi, Zach.
Hello, drafters.
To my right, we have Kyle Sipperly of Armandola's Army. Say hello.
Hello.
All right. So we're just going to get right into it here with some important announcements. We all know we have busy lives, kids to take care of, adult videos to watch at night, a lot of things to get taken care of tonight. So we're just going to get right into it. Right, guys?
Right.
All right.
Adult videos.
So this reminder, league fee is now $150, United States currency. We voted on that last year. Wanted to give you a quick update on the waiver rule, which we enacted last year. Yahoo did a nice thing, and now the waivers, we're going to keep that rule where the players go into they're locked up at kickoff now. So that's nice. And we have a new price structure because of the extra money. We're going to increase first, second, third prizes. We're going to get rid of those weekly prizes nobody cared about, the small for most points by a quarterback, those random ones, right, Zach? Remember
all that
those?
stuff nobody cared about.
Yeah, nobody cared about, really. We tried it. And in place of that, we're going to enact the what we call the Kyle Sipperly rule, which means the team with the highest points for the season will get some money, because remember what happened to you last year, Kyle? Mm-hmm. You had the most points, but you missed the playoffs.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we're also going to have a pity prize for the team that has the most points scored against them. Will also receive a monetary prize in U.S. currency. So, with this new draft style we've been talking about, we're not going to just, if your name gets drawn out first, you get the first pick, you get the first choice of what position you're going to take.
That's right.
So now, Zach, let's just do a little rundown here. If your name gets drawn first, what position do you take and why?
Well, initially to answer this question, I'd like to say reverse cowgirl.
I see.
If my name gets drawn first, I really like that 4, 5, 6 position I was in last year.
Really, and tell me why.
Well, you don't have to wait too long on the way back, because we do a snake draft.
Mm-hmm. Tell me more about that snake.
Well, it's about 14 picks long.
Nice. Kyle, let's say your name gets drawn. First. What position do you want to take?
Well, thanks for asking, Travis. It's a very difficult decision. The conventional answer would, of course, be first. Who wouldn't want the first pick in any draft? But to be honest with you, Travis, I think I would probably take the 5th pick this year. And the reason for that is I don't want the difficult decision in picks 1 through 4 this year. They have an enormously difficult decision ahead of them this year. Mm-hmm. Given the quality of the players available this year.
I mean, Tom Brady or Drew Brees? Who's better there?
I've never heard of either of them, but I think,
enough with you, Zach. Okay. Tom Brady, Drew Brees. Who do you like this year and why?
I got to go with Brady.
Really? Tell me more. Tell me more about that.
They gave him some weapons at wide receiver. I really like Brandon Lloyd out there.
Oh, receivers? You're talking about?
They gave him some weapons.
Okay.
So because he throws the ball.
Mm-hmm. Who would you take? What pick would you take, Travis?
For the first time in my life, I might agree with you, Kyle. I kind of like that 4th, 5th position. Unless somebody else had the pressure to select the number 1 overall.
Right.
And maybe hope to get a high caliber quarterback, and then boom, come back in the second round with a good running back. Maybe a tight end. Maybe this is the first year a tight end gets drafted in the second round. Who knows?
Second. What about first round?
Maybe first round. Gronkowski or Jimmy Graham. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Jimmy Graham.
Yeah. Zach?
I gotta agree with Kyle. More catches. I think Gronk will be double teamed a lot this year.
Yeah.
Aaron Hernandez is set to have a pretty good year, I think.
Okay.
Nicely done. So we're just gonna do a quick recap of the teams. Reintroduce everybody to the league. So to get started, we got Kyle Sipperly here. Zach, you have anything interesting to say about Kyle?
I have a lot of interesting things to say about Kyle. However, I think you should go ahead and say some things.
So we just want to remind everybody that Danny Amendola was selected by him in the 5th round last year, and there's kind of an unwritten rule: you don't take a wide receiver before the 13th round unless he's Wes Welker. And shame on you for doing that. And he also drafted Phillip Rivers 1st round.
Yeah,
that was a pretty good choice.
Also white.
Next up, we have Dan Schwach. You got anything interesting to say about Mr. Dan Schwach?
Yeah, Dan Schwach from Yankton, South Dakota. Good man. He drafted Chad Johnson It was
Who?
Chad Ochocinco.
Okay.
He played so bad he changed his name back to Chad Johnson this year.
Well done. Nicely done. What about Diddy's Dynasty? Chris
Well,
Rhodes.
Mr. Chris Rhodes, we've got some points that we'd like to cover. However, I think there are only two that we should actually get to. Number one is dumb.
Yes, he is
And
dumb.
the reason we say that is because, we can still go back to the fact that he traded Tom Brady away the year he scored over 500 fantasy
Yep,
points.
528 points to be exact. Yep. Nicely done. Nicely done. Next up, Zach Zorman, former fatties. Hey, let's give it up for Zach. Down 70 pounds since last year.
Oh.
Yeah. Good job.
I mean,
That was from like 5 years ago.
the Greek used to build statues like that.
Yeah, they did. And we're this proud of Zach because last year he didn't finish last. That's all we're gonna say about his team after a long history of finishing last. Trap. Look at that family man. What a good guy.
You should say some things.
Yeah, Travis skid marks. Miles Austin, second round last year, followed by Sean Green in the third round. And that's,
I will never take an Iowa player again.
That's a mistake. Tony
Speaking of Iowa, Cody Banta.
Speaking of Iowa, Mr. Cody Banta. Guy's a bit sleepy in his Iowa sweatshirt there. Banta's not going to be there this year, so draft might be a little quieter. But
he was a little loud last
he
year.
kind of set the tone for the draft last year. Kind of threw us for a loop when he took Brady with the first pick.
Over.
Turned out okay. Brady threw for a shit ton of touchdowns and not very many interceptions.
1,600 touchdowns, I think.
Yep. So, good job.
All right, Kyle Byer, back-to-back MFFL champion. I mean, has the most unconventional drafts.
It's impressive.
Drafts random running backs, somehow wins, so we got to give it up for him. I mean, he's all around a positive guy usually, unless he starts talking about the car business. Then you might want to step away. And let's just remember when he hooked up with that drunk girl at the draft the first year we had it in Omaha. Good for him.
Drunkest girl in the history of Nebraska.
Yep, exactly. Next up, Nick Hall, getting it.
Well, Travis, the only thing he's getting is last place. Consistency is key in this league, and then he doesn't do that.
Nicely done.
Consistently bad.
There you go.
That's it.
How about our Rodney factor? Rod Matson.
Rod, it reminds me a bit of the Huskers or Husker fans.
What does this mean?
He hasn't had a top 3 finish in years, but you know what? He sure goes on and on about that win back in 04.
04.
That's it. Next. Marty.
Because Husker fans do that.
No, better to have some tradition than none. Anyways, Marty Rump. It's hard to remember anything about the fantasy draft last year about Marty other than the fact he showed up with the Kate beer and asked if anybody needs a roof done. So, Marty.
Here's to you, Marty.
Here's to you, Marty. Good man. Todd Ross.
Todd, we all finally know him as the president of the Beanie Wells fan club.
And that goes back to the year he started them every
regardless of injury
or bye week.
No matter what the coaches said, he's not playing. Todd thought he would. He's always believed in Beanie. And he also believed in Peyton Manning last year. So much so that he took him in the third round in the year at which he had how many starts?
None.
None?
None.
0.
He didn't play at all last year.
Hey, maybe he goes third round this year again. Who knows?
Well,
Brian Brown. That's not me.
Well, Brian Brown, the owner of Tavares Bonaphilia, really we have one question. What the fuck is your name? What is your team name?
Bonaphilia? What is that?
With Tavares being involved, it's really fitting for your skill level in the draft.
Ooh, I think it's a shot at Tavares Jackson and a Brian Brown.
We all came up with that, not just me.
Mark Liebel. Who's got Mark Liebel?
Oh, I Mark.
Hey.
2 in a row.
Nice. She said.
Well, we're going to say nice things about Mark because realistically he can throw a javelin through our heart from 1,000 yards, and I don't think any of us want that. So, my notes on Mark are that he's a good drafter and a good lover.
Yep. I would agree with one of those statements. And finally, we got Brett Brown. He's, he's kind of like Iowa in the sense that every year during fall camp, going into the draft, high hopes. We talk about how he's restructured his team. He's got different management in place. Going to have a good year, and then he ends up going 9-5, just mediocre. Finishes in the middle of the league, not at the bottom, not at the top, just kind of a lot like Iowa. So with that, with that, we actually had a guest call in, I believe, Chris Rose. We're gonna see if we can get him dialed in here. We're gonna see if we can hook him up to. Whoa! We're gonna turn that off. We're gonna see if Chris, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Chris, can you hear us? Okay.
I can hear you fine.
Good. Here, grab that speaker there. Let's see if we can get him turned up a little bit. Can you hear us? Okay, Chris?
I can hear you guys just fine.
Okay, great.
That's
Hey,
great.
first of
Hi,
all,
Chris.
we know you got a busy night, playing PlayStation and eating nacho cheese Doritos and everything, and we appreciate you taking some time out of your night to be with us. And so, we just want to get an outsider's perspective here. We've been talking about this new draft format we have, and we just want to know if your name gets picked first, what choice are you taking? What are you doing?
Well, I'm probably going with number 4, Travis. And first of all, it's an honor to be with you guys tonight.
Hey,
I think the 4th
it's our pleasure.
is pretty solid. I think anybody in the top 5 you're going to be happy with, and you still get a good top 20 on the way back. So I'm going to go with number 4.
Yeah, and who do you think you're going to have at number 4 there? I mean, just hypothetically. Looking quarterback, running back.
I doubt Rudy Jones-Drew will be there. If he is, obviously that's a solid choice.
As high as 4, huh?
Wow. I got another question. How about Jimmy Graham or Rob Gronkowski?
If I had to pick, I would go with Jimmy.
All right. Hey, Chris, thanks a lot for calling in tonight. With that, we just wanted to, thank everybody for tuning in. we hope to see everybody come August 18th. It's going to be a great time.
Kyle had too much fun.
Don't forget, stick around after the draft. We're going to have a poker tournament, cash poker tournament, $20, $30 buy-in. It's going to be a lot of fun. With that, we'll see you all August 18th. And happy drafting. Hope everybody has safe travels there. Merry Christmas.
Good night.